Hello, Shalom Aleichem. I saw in this week's Jewish press a couple of nice article on the difference between Avraham and Yitzchak, and also a nice photo, a poster of the Shluchim, the Lubavitch Shluchim, which is very suitable for framing, possibly. Anyway, let's take a look at the first thing: the differences between Avraham and Yitzchak. The differences. This is by Rabbi Aharon Seigler, Halachic positions of Rabbi J.B Solaveitchick. Oh, Ber Solaveitchick. That's how. Let's take a look at this. The differences between Avraham and Yitzchak. The three Avot, Avraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov, the forefathers of our nation, are three uniquely different personalities. Avraham personifies the attribute midah of chesed, loving kindness, which by definition implies hitpashtut, expansion. This requires a lifestyle of taking many people under his wing, sharing and generally going out to others, reaching out to others. Yitzchak personifies the attribute of gevura, power, which implies tzimtzum, self-contraction, and self-limitation. It manifests itself in separating oneself from the community and being devoted exclusively to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, to Hashem. It is an aspect of Kedusha, sanctity, which is the attribute that became apparent in Yitzchak's life. It is an aspect of Kedusha, sanctity, which is the attribute that became apparent in Yitzchak's life. According to Rav Solaveitchick, although Avraham did not actually sacrifice Yitzchak at the Akedah, as far as Avraham was concerned, Yitzchak was considered sacrificed by virtue of the fact that he was placed upon the altar. Bereshit 22:9. Avraham parted with his son as soon as he was commanded to sacrifice him, and a new Yitzchak emerged after the Akedah. The life of Yitzchak is shrouded in mystery. Unlike Avraham and Yaakov, we know very little about Yitzchak. In his dealings with Yaakov and Esav as well, as during his confrontation with the people of Gerar, we find Yitzchak reacting to incidents, but never taking the initiative. Significantly, Avraham represents hitpashtut. Significantly, Avraham, representing hitpashtut, was allowed to leave the land of Israel, whereas Yitzchak, representing tzimtzum, tzimtzuming means limitation, limiting, or tzimtzum, it's like limitation, was never allowed to leave the land. Yitzchak, representing tzimtzum, in other words, not reaching out, was never allowed to reach the land. Yitzchak personifies Kedusha, since he was the real sacrifice at the Akedah, while the ram was only a substitute. There is no greater form of sanctity than a sacrifice. That is why the Torah tells us very little about Yitzchak. For whatever is sacred is concealed. It was the will of Hashem that Yitzchak remain a mystery, separated from the world. The Rav, that means Reb Soloveitchik, further noted that the attributes of Avraham and Yitzchak, Chesed and Kedusha, Avraham represents Chesed and Yitzchak represents Kedusha. That's kindness is Chesed, Kedusha is holiness. Avraham and Yitzchak, Chesed and Kedusha, are associated with many of the great personalities of our people. Those who represent chesed are closely connected with the people. Those who represent chesed are closely connected with the people. They teach and they help others in any way possible. Thus, the Baal Shem Tov was the personification of chesed. The Gaon of Vilna, on the other hand, can be described as kadosh, as separated from the world. The Gaon's attic apartment was a small room with a single window where he spent almost 50 years devoting his life to Hashem by learning and davening and writing many svarim, divrei Torah. That's the Vilna, the Gaon of Vilna, and as opposed to the Baal Shem Tov. We also have over here, this is a very nice, this is in the Jewish Press last week, a nice poster of the shluchim, of all the shluchim